Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. We are journeying across the galaxy to Sagittarius A star in our quest to increase our exobiology and just, have fun exploring the galaxy as we move along. So, yeah, I think that music's probably a little loud there. Bring it down to about 25. That's a little much. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's go ahead, get up off the ground and start getting on to our next destination up here. And we'll start heading out. So our goal as we go here, obviously, is twofold: to get to Sagittarius A star, and then also to scan cool things along the way, so that we can increase our money. Although money's not really that much of a concern for me at this point in the career on this account. But also just to increase our exobiology, because it would be nice to grab elite for that, in addition to a few of the other things that I have going on there. So this series, if you are just joining us now, is mostly a bunch of me flying around and talking a lot, because, there's not really that much to do in Elite Dangerous. So hopefully some of you guys enjoy the conversation enough that you're willing to sit and just enjoy the ambiance of space while I chat about random stuff. I try to be as diverse and as interesting as I can, but you know how it is. There's not much you can do. There's not much you can do to spice up a game that's 1,000 miles wide and an inch deep. So this will be more like hanging out with Gunthrek rather than super interesting space stuff. However, don't let that turn you off, because we do come across some pretty cool, interesting stuff here, including some cool purple space palm trees and some adult content looking plants that I've seen at least once since we've started this journey. And some people thought I was clickbaiting, but no, there was something there that at least to me looked like adult content. But anyways, I digress. We're going to hop into the next system. Our pattern for doing all of these is basically to hop into a system, check out the system map to see if A, anybody has explored it already, and B, if they're close enough for our onboard system, our ship scanner to automatically pick them up. And then we'll check our full spectrum system scanner to see if there's any Earth-like worlds, ammonia worlds, or water worlds, to see if we want to go scan them if they're close enough. And then if there are, 15-ish planets or less, we'll actually do a full spectrum scan of the system to see if there are any landable planets that have sufficient biological diversity to justify going and landing on them. So that's kind of the standard operating procedure that we're doing for this journey. But for the most part, I guess it's just kind of on me to, talk fast enough. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be fast talking. It just needs to be, talking about things that you guys want to hear about. As I say in many of my episodes, I think that a lot of people who watch videos in general, unless you're watching like sports or stuff like that, especially if you find like a gaming content creator that you like them more because of the kind of person they seem to be than whether or not they're super good at the game or whatever. Like, I know some of you are just all about the gaming, but I think most people, we being social animals, and now we're living in this time where it's really hard to be social with people. Oh, you know what? I forgot to check the system map on the last one too, but it only had like three. Oh. It only had like three bodies in it anyway. So we got some rocky ice worlds here, but 20 is a little bit higher than the number of planets I want to sit here and scan. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. I'm really trying to be, closer to the 10 range, but a lot of times, depending on how I feel, I'll stop for 15. But we do need to definitely make sure that every time we pop into a system, we're hopping into the FSS just to see if there's any valuable planet signatures on there, because we definitely want to go find those if they're, within about 10,000 light seconds. Anything further than that, and it starts to be a little bit further than I want to go and a lot more time than I want to spend in a single system. So, yeah, a lot of this is a bunch of repetitive stuff, and that's why I basically just try to keep talking the entire time, so that, hopefully I say something that you find interesting, or maybe you just want to hear somebody talking for a while. Maybe you're one of those people that just, has a hard time being out in the world. I know I do. I have a really hard time being out in the world and dealing with people in person and having to put up with, a lot of the irritations that come with modern living. It's kind of a weird thing how we've gotten to this place where we love the technology that we have, and the technology connects us in ways that it never could before, but then at the same time, it's also isolated us somehow. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I know that for me, I generally tend to be very, very, very antisocial. And I know it doesn't seem that way here while I'm sitting here talking on a video, but that's only because you kind of get into a performance mode when you're doing something like this. And it doesn't, and I don't want to make it seem like, you know, I'm not being me. I'm definitely being me, but I'm kind of being like maybe the best version of me as I do this kind of thing. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. You have to be authentic when you're doing stuff like this because people can smell a fake pretty easily unless you're just super careful about it. And if I'm going to get on here and talk for 20 minutes, there's no way I could be careful like that. So you can't like fake it or anything. You got to be honest, and you got to kind of be brutally honest when it comes to a lot of this stuff because, you know, if you say certain things and then that's not what you really think or that's not who you really are, well, people are going to notice that. It's not going to be it's not going to go well for you. One of the big things, you know, I used to write a blog. It's still over there. What is that? High metal it looked like a water world for a second, but I know the signature didn't pop up as one. I have a blog that I write on from time to time every once in a while. I used to write on it every day, but I got tired of writing and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. But, you know, I kind of lost my train of thought because the little water world thing messed with me. I know I was talking about something about being authentic and all of that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I just kind of these videos here. I have this Elite Dangerous video that I'm doing. I have 2 trucking videos that I'm doing, and now I have a flight sim video that I'm doing. And all of those are basically I need to talk the whole time. So because I don't want to put for this one I don't want to put cuts in it, because you're going to miss the journey. And then for the trucking videos, I'll probably start putting cuts in those, which will make life a little bit easier for me. But the loads are so short right now that it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to put any cuts in it yet. So it'll get a little bit easier as we start leveling up those characters and the loads start getting a lot longer. But for now, I kind of just have to suck it up and have 3 straight videos where I'm... What was that? 1 biological. I really like to have at least 2 to make it worth going flying over there. Oh, come on, don't tell me. I hate it when it's like that. We got 2 planets that are behind the star. So, even if there is something, it's going to be behind the star, and I'm not relocating to fix that, so, oh well. Now that's it. All right, well, we're going to move on to the next system then, because I'm not relocating on the off chance that one of them might be a two biology planet. So yeah, you know, I have 5 different videos. I generally try to have 5 different video series going on at the same time. I tried my hand at like rally racing, and it's fun, and especially it's a lot more fun in VR because you get that sense of depth that you don't get in a 2D screen. But nobody really seemed interested in watching it because I'm not very good at it. So, you know, people who watch that stuff really want to see like world record attempts and things like that, and I'm not really interested in trying to get into the racing to such an extent that I'm even close to capable of doing something like that. All right, so we definitely need to make sure we stop outside of here. So yeah, there's nothing. The high value planets show up to the right of your cursor as you pop into the FSS. So if you don't see anything pretty close to the right side of your cursor when you pop in, move on to the next one, man. Move on to the next one. Unless you're looking for terraformable worlds, but I'm not. I've set my filter for these things pretty narrow because I don't want the journey to take like forever to get there. So that's why I put a cap on the number of planets before I'll do a scan, and I have this like repetitious procedure that I'm doing to try to make sure that this just, you know, we get to Sagittarius A* within a reasonable amount of time. It already takes a long time to get there as it is. You don't need to compound it by adding more and more different things that you do. So 3 bodies is going to be a trinary star system, or not. So I guess we'll go ahead and stop, and just on the off chance that this happens to have a... All right, that's just a gas giant. Oops, wrong button. That one. There we go. Off to the next system. So, yeah. let you guys listen to the music for just a second. I had one person leave a comment saying that they actually appreciated that I put some different background music in here because the in-game music gets very boring after a while. I've been trying. There's several videos that I do try to put different music into because, you know, it adds a little bit more ambiance to the video and makes it just feel a little bit more immersive, I think. All right, off we go to the next system. Or actually, all right, I forgot to check to make sure there were no high-value planets here. How many more jumps do we have? 162 more jumps. So if you've been following this series for any length of time, you know we have several more videos to go before we get to Sagittarius A. I thought I pressed the button. We have several more videos to go before we get to Sagittarius A star. Probably 10 to 15, maybe more, depending on how many landable planets we find or different, you know, water worlds and stuff like that we want to go scan. But I'm hoping that by the time we get out to Sagittarius A star, we'll have enough of a following that you guys will be able to convince me to head out to Beagle Point. Some people have left comments saying that I should go to Beagle Point because it's such an amazing place. I have been out to Beagle Point a couple of times already, so me personally, I'm not pining to go out there. That's going to be one of those things where, you know, if you guys enjoy the content enough to encourage me to go, then we'll go. But that's mostly on you guys, you know. If you really want me to go, you got to make sure I know you want me to go, because that's a lot of time to spend heading out to a place. All right, how many was it? I forgot how many were in this one. 18. Well, all right, yeah. Let's go ahead and scan this one because, you know, why not? Okay, so that's one of the gas giants. 2 geological. I know 18 is higher than like my basically hard maximum of 15, but when we go so many jumps in a row without even having anything interesting happening, sometimes I bend to my rules just a little bit so that we can, you know, hopefully try to find something. But then the irritating part is when you hop into doing 18 system scan and none of them have any of the things that you're looking for, because we're really looking for at least 2 biological signatures on a planet, or yeah, on a body, and a lot of time. Oops, what's that? That is going to be gas giant with a bunch of planets around it, and it's relatively close. So if any of these turn out to have okay, biology on it, I'm willing to go do it because it's pretty close. Geological, that's not really what we're looking for here. Nope. And then this is the last one. No. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, we just did 18 bodies and we might as well have just moved on. It's hard to know. It's just like hunting, or, you know, any kind of thing that you're doing where it feels like there's a lot of chance involved, where it's just kind of random. You never really know what you're going to get until you do it, and you may end up bypassing things by setting your expectations too narrow, or you might waste a lot of time by setting your expectations too wide. So you got to try to find that sweet spot of, you know, the right amount of time to spend on something versus what you're going to actually, what the chances are of you getting something out of that. It's really hard. I think it's really hard just in life in general to know where that line is. Too many people overwork thinking that that's going to somehow make them rich, and it's like, oh no, for most of us, working extra hard is just going to be working extra hard, and you're going to waste a lot of time and effort focusing your attention on things that just really don't matter, and you're not really going to get any further ahead than you would have been if you just did the bare minimum and moved on. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no virtue in building up someone else's thing if they have no intention of bringing you along for the ride, you know? And too many companies and people nowadays have no intention of bringing you along for the ride. You are just you're a resource to be used, and they're more than happy to use you. So I don't know. They'll make it seem like they care. They'll make it seem like you're important to them, but then, you know, when the rubber hits the road, you'll find out exactly where their priorities were. I don't know, 12 bodies, that's pretty good. We have some atmospheric planets, but nothing that's landable. But the number of planets here is small enough to justify stopping and doing a scan. So, no water worlds, but that's okay. Let's grab this gas giant. And ideally, that's it for him. Ooh, okay. So, we'll go after this guy. And unless we find something that has more than 2 biological signatures, that will be... Geez, all of these guys have 2 biological signatures on it. Okay. Wow. And then, what is... okay, so we have 1 more to grab, but we're definitely going after that. Alright. So let's go ahead and head... Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. 1, 2, 3. And then we get our Super Cruise Assist. And then this is going to take just a little bit. So this is one of the few instances where I will cut because you're not going to miss anything by me bypassing this boring journey through the solar system. So I'll be back once we're within range of scanning the planet. All right, we are approaching the body right now, and I did want to bring you back in real quick as we were approaching so you could kind of get a layout of the solar system here. I think I waited a little bit too long. I like to try to bring you guys back in soon enough so that you can kind of see the full approach of the solar system, of the little planetary system as we approach it, but I spaced out for a minute and I wasn't really thinking about it. Mostly because as we were getting close, I started getting slowdowns because I was entering the gravity wells of nearby bodies, but not much you can do about that. All right, so we need to get within right around the 0.15 light second mark usually when we do these, and then we can come to a stop real quick, get our scans done, find out what's on this planet, and then decide what we're gonna do from there. All right, here we go. So we need 6 probes total to get this one done. So I generally start from the top, work my way down, left, right, bottom, and then I do this one last because it's going to be because it's the closest to me. So I want to send the furthest one away first, then do all of these because they're the next furthest away, and then this one here because it's going to hit the closest. It has the least amount of distance to travel. So it speeds up the process a little bit. So we have Bacterium and Fonticula. They both appear to have about the same, okay, let me back out. All right, they both appear to have about the same, I don't want to do that. I want to be about half speed. What am I doing? They both appear to have the same spread around the planet, so the Fonticula are pretty easy to find. We'll pop down there and grab the mushrooms, because that's what those are going to be. And then if the bacteria are easy to see, we may grab those as well. It just depends on what color they are, what shape they are, how easy they are to spot from a reasonable altitude. You know, I generally tend to ignore bacteria because they tend to be a pain in the butt to find, depending on which one they are. And a lot of it just has to do with the combination of colors you get when you go into a planet. But at least it seems like we're going to have a nice big open area in which to search for this stuff. So I'm actually going to go straight for this crater over here because I have one, and I thank you for the commenter who mentioned it. I historically have had good luck hopping into craters to find this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and hop in here now to see if we can continue the trend of hopping into these big craters here and finding really a lot of biological diversity inside of them. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why craters would have such biological diversity, but they seem to. I seem to have a lot more luck finding them in these kinds of places than I do anywhere else. All right, gliding down into... I mean, I'm pretty sure this has an atmosphere, right? I think only the atmospheric planets have. Okay. So let's get down here. Try to make sure we don't crash. Slow down, don't crash. Gotta be kind of careful with this stuff because even though I do have shield, oh, yep, no, that's what we're looking for. Even though we do have shields. Okay, so let's head over to these over here since they're kind of in front of us. Find ourselves a suitable landing area. If we get, man, why is this like? Maybe we won't stop here. I need like a relatively flat area to land on. Are we gonna get a? Oh, I saw one. I saw one. Hold on, come on. Where are you? Just gotta find it again. It turned blue for like a split second. Where did it go? Oh, come on. Give it to me. It was blue. You saw it. It was blue. Come on. Oh, oh. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I think we got it. There we go. Let's go grab these guys, and then as we head over to the next one, I'll try to pay a little bit of attention as to what color the bacteria might be, but as I said, I'm more interested in the big, interesting-looking ones rather than the rather boring bacteria. But this crater should be plenty big enough for us to get genetic diversity by staying inside of it. So these actually look kind of weird with the veins. I don't think I've seen these ones with the veins before. Fonticulus campestris emerald. I have seen the emerald ones, but I don't remember them having veins like this before. I feel like it's different, but maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly. Maybe they all have veins. It was just the first time I've noticed it. I don't know. But let's hop up back into the ship. We have 2 more samples to grab. And then if we can't find any bacteria, I think we'll go ahead and call it for today because we're past the 20-minute mark and we don't really have time to go searching around for another planet to land on. Oh yeah, I was looking at the bacteria. The bacteria are actually pretty easy. Oh, you know what? I did want to check something out real quick. Let's see. I downloaded a program that's supposed to help with all of this a little bit, so let me start it up and see if it actually does something. Oh, okay. So... Okay, well, it's giving me information, but it's not really giving me the kind of information I was really hoping it would. It's supposed to help you... It's supposed to help you with this part. I think it was mostly designed for, you know, helping out with dealing with the Guardian sites and stuff. Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, I think it was mostly meant for you to drive around with your SRV, but I generally don't like to bother with that because then I have to go drive back to my SRV once I'm done doing my stuff. Well, I mean, I guess you can send the ship away. You could always send the ship away and then have it come back and pick you up. Yeah, we could look into that at some point. We do have a couple of SRVs with us. I haven't really decided. It depends on how useful the tool is, because the tool is supposed to help you figure out how far away you are from whatever it was you scanned, and whether you're far enough away for the genetic diversity to be sufficiently different. Ideally, this should be far enough. Because it'll show you where your ship is. It'll show you, like, circles that'll tell you how far away you need to be before you get the genetic diversity, before you're far enough away for the genetic diversity to count. But I think it's mostly meant for you being on the ground. All right, so that finishes that sample. Let's hop back up into the ship one more time, just so we can see if it's worth it for us to take the time to go after these bacteria. So I don't think that these are bacteria. I think that this is just... Oop. Yeah, the patches looked a little bit more defined, I think, and they weren't really... I mean, is this? This is just ground, right? Pretty sure it is. I know it looks different, but I remember the patches of bacteria being a little bit more defined than what we're seeing there. But I guess the only way to know is to stop and find out, huh? We could be passing over all of these and they're all bacteria. Oops, and then I can crash into the ground and we can do that too. But, so we'll stop here, we'll see. I mean, this just looks like regular ground to me, but I don't know. I'm probably just wasting my time stopping here, but we'll see. The program that I have is called SRV Survey. You can find it by Googling it on the internet. This is the first time I've used it, so... Okay, yeah, this is not this is just ground. I figured it was, but it looked different enough. So we'll pop up one more time, just on the off chance that we happen to come across some, because I thought I did. I thought I saw some similarly shaped. This is what I'm talking about, though. The bacteria looks, the bacteria that I thought I saw looks about the same as this stuff here. So that's what's making it so difficult. Is I don't know what's bacteria and what is. Yeah, those are rocks. And as far as I know, there's no like way to highlight things from the ship so that you can find this stuff. I mean, they say night vision is supposed to help, so I mean, maybe we could try that. The problem is that night vision also highlights all these rocks on the ground, so it's not exactly the most helpful thing either. So, yeah, I mean, any of this could be bacteria, but I don't know. And I don't have the patience to sit here and like comb my way over or use the SRV. Like, see, here's the bacteria. So maybe that's the way. So this is bacteria here. So maybe we can fly around in night mode, and then anything that has that weird gray color. And then, oh, here we go. Anything that has that weird gray color that isn't highlighted. Oh, come on. Can we land, please? Thank you. I really hate it when it does that. Anything that has that weird gray color that isn't being highlighted by the night vision might be what we're looking for. Maybe that's the process we need to use. But I don't know. It's hard to know. Oh, is that? You guys are just gonna have to understand that I don't have the patience for some of the methods that you guys want me to use. I don't have the patience for it. If it's not gonna be quick and fast and ready to go, then I'm like, no, we need another method here. I'm not gonna crawl along the surface hoping to find some of this stuff. So if we can't reasonably quickly find bacterial samples by skimming across the ground at a reasonable rate of speed, then yeah, bacteria is always going to be one of those things where it's not a priority for me. But that looks like it might be one. So if this works all the time, where the night vision won't highlight it and it's clear that there's something there, then you know it might make it worth our time to do this. But can we get? This is irritating that we can't. Oh, nope. There was one there. There was one there. Go back. Come on. Oh, right there. All right, here we go. Off we go. We'll grab the second one, and then we have one more to do. And it does. You can see at the top up there. It does let you know how many you have left to do and what it is you're doing. So that's kind of cool. But now I have to find where it is. Oh, there it is. And then let my thing come back so I can arrest my fall. There we go. All right. I had to get up high so I could find it because I wasn't sure where it was. Okay. And then, you know, why don't we just hop up on the ship and go the overland route. Get a nice view of the top. This is a very cool looking ship, though, I have to say. I'm a big fan of the Phantom. All right, one more to go, and then we can be done. So, well, I don't want to start my exit quite yet because I don't know how long it's going to take us to actually go find another one of these that are far enough away. So let's skim across the ground here, and then once we see it, then I'll start doing my outro. My outro only takes like 15 or 20 seconds. Okay, let's get down here, and that should be far enough. Anything over here should be far enough away. But we have to actually find one. And I'm not seeing anything on the ground that looks like what we're looking for, so... Oh, right here. All right. So, hopefully you guys had lots of fun watching this episode. Be sure to click that like button if you did so that the YouTube algorithm knows and sends the video out to more viewers. If we could actually get a landing here. Come on, give me the landing. Give me the landing. There we go. So it sends a video out to more viewers, and so that hopefully by the time we get out to Sagittarius A-star, we have a lot of people along for the ride, and we can all kind of decide if we want to keep going. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed, and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. And lastly, I do have channel memberships available for those of you who would like to get member perks. One of those perks is getting early access to my videos, along with a few other things that we'll continue to implement as the channel continues to grow and we get more and more members. So be sure to click that join button down below the video player so that you can check out which feature or which perks are available right now, and decide if that's something you want to do. So again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys had lots of fun, and be sure to come back for the next one. I'll see you then.